From the Middle East, where Israel's national security advisor says ceasefire talks with Hamas are ongoing and the release of Israeli hostages will not take place, though, before tomorrow.
CTV National News' Scott Hurst joins us live with the latest on this. So, Scott, what is the latest on this temporary truce between Hamas and Israel? And has the truce started? When can we actually see the release of hostages?
Good morning, Nick and Jen. Well, we're waiting an update from Qatari officials that should be happening soon. Hopefully, we can get some more details on when this would happen and the exact specifics of the swap of hostages and prisoners. So we're tracking that. But in the meantime, fighting continues between Israel and Hamas as this deal, it was supposed to begin today, but then we got word that nothing will start until tomorrow. So some of the specifics of the deal include the fact that Hamas has agreed to release 50 hostages in exchange for 150 Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. It'll also allow more humanitarian aid to get into Gaza, and this would happen in waves. Hamas is set to release some of its hostages, and then once that happens, Israel then is set to release some of the Palestinian prisoners. So those are some of the specifics of the deal, but obviously there was a last-minute snag, hoping it was, the hope was it was supposed to start today. When this was announced on Wednesday, they said it could happen as early as today, but then we got word that there was a snag. They're still trying to work out some of the specifics. They're still negotiating, and in the meantime, we're waiting to see if this will actually come into place tomorrow. But I'm assuming at this point, with so many players involved, even that deadline might be fluid. That too could get pushed back, Nick and Jen.
Yeah, so many details still to be ironed out quite clearly, Scott. So this is sort of the first truce potentially here in this almost 7-week war now. Is this kind of also maybe the first step towards perhaps a full ceasefire?
Perhaps, but not exactly. There's no specific terms for a full ceasefire in this deal. This is a first humanitarian pause, a first pause that'll allow an exchange of hostages for prisoners. So that is part of the goal, to get all the hostages released. But Israel has always brushed aside any talk of a ceasefire, as it also has its military goals to defeat Hamas. Benjamin Netanyahu says their goal is to crush Hamas and get all the hostages released. So not every hostage is part of this deal. Israel has said it might be willing to extend by a day for every extra 10 hostages that are involved, but there's been no specific talk of an ongoing ceasefire, despite ongoing humanitarian push and an ongoing push from the international community for a ceasefire. But Israel has often pushed back against that. So this is a first step, a diplomatic step to get some of the hostages at least released and more aid into Gaza.
Okay, CTV National News' Scott Hurst joining us live this hour. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.